to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your very first time seeing me. I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you for clicking on this video and taking time out of your day to watch it. I genuinely appreciate it so much. In today's video, I received an amazing PR package from Blinged brushes, and I thought I would just do a review because I've always wanted to try these brushes. They're so beautiful. I'm just gonna show you them right here. Like, oh, they're kind of falling. There's so many. They're barely fit in my hand. Yeah, look how pretty these are. So blingy, so pretty. So I did my full face of makeup with all of these brushes. I'm also gonna be giving them away to you guys. Courtney at Blinged Brushes, she's amazing, she's so sweet, sent me an extra pack to give to you guys. So if you guys want to hear how to win all of these, you have to watch the whole video and stay to the end until I talk about how to win all these brushes. So if you're excited for this video, give it a thumbs up so I can know what content you guys want to see, and make sure you subscribe and click that bell if you are brand new. I would love to have you join the Goria gang. Also follow my social medias, which are on the screen right now. And let's go ahead and get into this video after I do some subscriber shout outs. We have a very, very good amount today, so let's get into it. All right, I want to shout out Raylan and Treva. I love you both so much. Raylan, hello, I'm Bella, and you're so sweet. You're literally 1.5 years old and you watch my videos. It's amazing. And Treva, you are a beautiful mom. I love you so much. Shout out to ML and Mumu, which is another mom and daughter who watch my channel. Shout out to Karina Riggs, Esther Larson, Heather Spencer, Isabel Mears, I think I'm saying that last name correct. Shout out to Erica FS. I love you, girlfriend. You're always commenting, you're always staying active, and I genuinely appreciate it so much. Shout out to Ashton DeWald. I love you so much. You're so sweet, and you're just, I love how you comment and you interact with me. It's so much fun. Shout out to Jay Nicole and Cute Little Bread channel. I love you all so much. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. It's a long one, so grab a snack, grab a friend, and let's get started. Okay, so the way I start every review is I give like details on, you know, the product and what I'm talking about and prices and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit some details on Blinged brushes. I'm really pumped. I'm like really excited to just like sit down, play with makeup and like new brushes with you guys, because I feel like it's just been like a really long time since I've just sat down and I've just tried new stuff, you know what I mean? All right, so Blinged brushes are handcrafted, so each little crystal is placed individually. You guys know how much time that takes and just how much effort and love goes into the brushes. Like, that's really, really cool. Everything from Blinged brushes is vegan and cruelty free, which is amazing. No fur babies were hurt or harmed during this whole process. We love that. Now, the brushes are sold separately now, or they are sold in bundles and sets. So if you want one certain brush, like, you're able to get that, or you want a few, or you want like the whole bundle, you can do that. You can basically like customize it to like whatever you want. I also want to go ahead and say that Courtney, the owner who did send me these, this is not sponsored. I'm not being paid to say this. I wanted to do a review on these products because I'm just so intrigued, and Tati talks about them, and she also sent me an extra one for a giveaway for you guys. So stay tuned to the end to hear about the giveaway rules. Please watch this whole video and so you can hear about the rules. And yeah, all right, so I feel like that's all you need to know. So I'm gonna go ahead and dabble into these. I did put these on my Instagram story, and I got like over 20 DMs, like not even over exaggerating, talking about like how bad you guys wanted these brushes and how gorgeous they were. So I'm very, very excited. They're all like high quality synthetic bristles too. So yeah, thank you, Courtney, for, I know you're watching this video, so thank you for like sending me these. I really appreciate it, and the fact that like you reached out to me and like that you trust me. I don't know, it's just, I'm blessed. Thank you so much. Okay, so they came in this little pouch. I'm not sure if all of them come like this, but I'm pretty sure they probably do. So I have all of my brushes. I'm so excited. You guys, these are so pretty. Look at that. Look at all of these brushes. Oh my gosh. And good thing is like they're all numbered, so you're able to, they have like a number system. So if you want like a single brush, you can just ask me what number it is, and I'll obviously mention it in the video, like throughout this video, and you can just like pick up one brush. I'm so astonished. You guys know I just did a makeup declutter. I will link it up here and I'll link it down below, and I decluttered a ton of brushes. So I was thinking about getting new brushes, and here they are. All right, so I'm gonna stick all of the brushes in my little James Charles tubby when I got his brushes, and just make them a home, a safe home. Like, even just sitting in here, they're so mesmerizing. Like, I just wanna look at them all day. All right, so I am gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera, and then I will be right back. Is there a brow brush? It looks like there is a brow brush, and I only use a pencil though. So I don't think I'm gonna be using this right now, but yeah. So I'm gonna do my brows and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I filled in my eyebrows to the best of my ability. I'm not the best at brows, but I I did what I could, okay? So next we're gonna go on to eyeshadow. I always do my eyes before I do my face, unless I'm never doing anything for my eyes, but I am today. So I'm gonna do something light and simple. So there are a couple of eyeshadow brushes. So in this set, you get 7 eye brushes and 5 face brushes. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my eyeshadow. Like I said, I'm not gonna do anything too crazy today. I'm gonna keep it a little like bit more simple. So I'm gonna be going into my Natasha Denona gold palette because this is like my favorite everyday neutral palette. And it's just everything I need in it for a very neutral gold look. I'm also gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so you guys can see a little bit better. So to prep my eyelids, I'm gonna go in with the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and I'm gonna be using the E4 brush, which looks like more of a flat brush to apply like shimmer or, you know, to prep your eye like I'm doing right now. Alright, so as you can see, my eye is a lot more smooth now, and it is more of one color compared to this eye. I really like the way this applied it, and you would think with like the diamonds and the crystals, you wouldn't think it'd be like comfortable and you would slip, but actually you have like a really nice grip. I don't mind it at all. I actually really like it, and the way it's applying it. The brushes are really nice, none have fallen out, and I don't have any streaks. So to set my base so it is not cracky or doesn't skip, I'm gonna go into this Maybelline palette. It's just like what was close to me. And I'm gonna tap into this shade, and I'm gonna use this fluffy crease brush, but it is called the E3, and I'm just going to apply this to both lids. I'm really liking the shape of this brush. Obviously, I think I'm gonna like it a lot more in the crease, even though I'm like basically packing on shadow onto my lid, but I really like the shape of it so far. Alright, so now going into the gold palette by Natasha Denona, I'm going to dip into the shade Aria, which is right here, with the same E3 brush. Wow, I really love how it has a number system because that's just like very helpful. I'm just like tapping off some excess too. And now we're just going to go straight in the crease with this color and just see how this blends. This palette blends like super well, so I'll know if there's like a problem that it's the brush, you know, not like the palette. I'm going to dip in for another layer. Alright, there are absolutely no problems with blending. It blended perfectly fine. I really love the shape of this because it's super fluffy, but at the same time, I'm gonna see if I can get like a better angle, a better photo for you guys. It's super fluffy, but at the same time, it's not too fluffy to where your product, you know, goes all over your lid. You can actually really place it in one area and just kind of work on that area. And the bristles are making it blend super well, and Natasha Denona already blends like itself. So I'm not taking a lot of time blending these shadows either. Now we're just gonna go ahead and go onto this eye. Alright, so now that our crease is done, it's looking really good on both sides. I'm having like no problem at all. I'm gonna go into Teak in the same palette. It's a little bit more of like a darker, a neutral color, and I'm going to put this on the outer edges to darken it. I'm actually going to keep my eyes open for this step and look straight ahead, place it right here, and then blend. Alright, I'm having no problems whatsoever. Wow, I really think that's really pretty. I know it's just neutral, but I love myself a neutral look, and these shadows look really good. And I mean, they're already really pretty, so I feel like they're just even prettier. So next up, I'm gonna take the L1 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Sparks in the palette. It's like this white color. That color went everywhere. And I'm just gonna tap this off and hit this like right on my brow bone to brighten it up a little. It's super shimmery, but it's really pretty. Okay, and for the lid shade, I'm gonna dip into this color down here. It's my favorite gold in this palette, and I'm using the same L1 brush that I use to highlight my brow bone with, and I'm just gonna go ahead and spritz it with some Urban Decay All Nighter. All right, now we're just gonna pack that color onto the lid. Oh my gosh, that color is so pretty. Alright, and that's all I'm gonna do for my eyes. It's just simple, but everything blended super well. My favorite brush is definitely that crease brush. So yeah, my favorite brush was the E3, and I just loved the way this blended. It really is such a nice shape. And yeah, now there's still 4 other brushes for the eyes that I did not use, but I think there's a good variety of all of the eye brushes combined. I'm gonna show you all of them combined. So this one has a little bit more of a tapered angle right here, and so I feel like this is gonna be really good to really deepen up your outer corner or smoke something on your lower lash line to really buff it in. So this is the E1. Now this one's a little bit more of a tapered blender. It is not super fluffy. It just has like a really short bristle, and this is the E5. I feel like this is just gonna be really nice placement if you want more of a deeper effect. Next up, we have the E2, which I should have used this to set my whole eyelid. I feel like this is really good for like a whole, like not a whole color, oh, like a one color, and just to set your lid because it's super big and fluffy and it covers a lot of space. Next up, we have a liner brush, which is the E6, but you can also use this for your brows if to use a powder. I personally don't do liner and I don't use brow powders that often, but when I do use brow powders, I will definitely be using this brush. And then for the 3 brushes that I did use, I used the E4, which is really nice to pack product all over your lid. So I did use this to conceal my lids basically and add like the paint pot, but you can definitely use this to add shimmer all over. It has a lot more space, so if you're looking to really cut your crease, you can totally use that for it. Next up, we have a smaller version of the E4. So it's called the L1, and it's a lot more of a smaller version. So if you want to cut your crease and you want to get really up in there, or you want to just apply a little bit of shimmer to your inner corner or your brow bone like I use this for, that's going to be perfect. This is one of my favorites, but my all-time favorite brush is this one right here. For the eyes, this is the E3, and I just loved the way this blended my eyeshadow. This one was bomb. So you definitely have a lot of variety with the eyeshadow brushes that you are given. You can use them for your crease, your lower lash line, to deepen up, to put on your brow bone. You basically have a brush for every need of eyeshadow step. So 10/10 recommend. I love these so much, and they're beautiful and they're striking, and they make you want to do your makeup because like they're pretty, okay? And now we're gonna move on to the face, which is my favorite part of makeup. All right, I'm using my Milk Makeup Hydro Primer to hydrate and grip my makeup as my primer. I don't know what I just said right there. Alright, so for our foundation, I'm going to be using a foundation that I know and love. I know how it blends, I know how it works, and it is the NARS Natural Radiant in the shade Santa Fe, which is my lightest shade. And for our brush, we're going to be using the F4, which is obviously that foundation brush, and it's good for any liquids. It's a nice angle, so it really helps you stamp product in. And yeah, I love foundation brushes. It's a lot more of a different shape than I'm used to, so I'm scared about this brush, but it looks pretty. I feel like this will also be really good for cream contour because it has that angle like I said, and you could really just blend out and really just hit your cheeks, you know? But obviously this is good for any liquid. You can blend your concealer if you want to because it is tapered, so you're able to get right under your eye, and you can do a lot with this brush. So yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna use my NARS Natural Radiant. I always go in with 1 pump to start with, so I just put 1 pump on the back of my hand, and then now I'm just going to go ahead and dot the 1 pump on the right side of my face. All right, and now we're just gonna blend away with this brush. It's so clean, I don't want to get it dirty, but it's gonna happen. I love how I can get like right at my brow and there's like no space or anything. Like I can just go like right there on my brow. That's like perfect. All right, so here's half my face with foundation. It really did help me maximize the foundation, and I didn't waste any obviously, and I still have a little bit more on the back of my hand. So I'm just gonna build in my cheek area. That's where I have like the most, well, that's not where I have the most, it's where I want the most coverage. I really like the way this blended in my foundation. It doesn't look cakey. Most foundation brushes do make your makeup look a little bit cakey, but here's a little bit of a close-up. I just think it looked flawless. I mean, the foundation's already amazing, but here is no foundation. Here's foundation. What really helps you maximize the coverage is that it's a very stiff brush, but obviously like it doesn't hurt, but it's very stiff, so you are going to really pack that product in, and it's really going to help the product, you know, stay full coverage, stay medium coverage. It's not going to lose its coverage, which is really nice. Definitely really like this brush. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead and blend this side of my face. Also, it's not leaving any sort of streak. Like it looks false. I'm trying to get as close up as I can for you guys to see, because you guys know I like to give you the full picture and the full review. So here is what it's looking like up, like blending close. Ooh, and it also helps you get really in that nose crease. I love the shape of this brush. I wish they also had this brush in a bigger version so you could like do your foundation a little bit faster, because I'm used to like a little bit like bigger brushes, but this is really my camera was rude and cut me off. And now I'm just gonna take the excess from this pump of the foundation, don't know what I was saying, and just stipple. It's really nice like to add product and to build a product on your cheeks, and obviously all over your face, but I'm building products on my cheeks right now, and it's building it really nicely. It's not taking away the foundation or anything like that. I wasn't expecting to like the brushes as much as I do, because I always go into like reviews not really expecting much and being honest, and I'm living right now. I'm living. All right, so for concealer, nothing new. I only really ever use the Jouer concealer. I'm in the shade Macadamia, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of this. I don't really go ham with my concealer. I've never been like a person who goes ham with their concealer. I put enough in the inner corner to cancel out the darkness, and then I will do a couple dots going upwards. And then if I need more, I like to add and I like to build. All right, here's the real test. I think I'm gonna love this for concealer. I knew it. I had a feeling I would really like this for concealer, and I just love this for concealer. I love packing it in, and I love the way it can really like mend the foundation and concealer together, so you don't have like a line of demarcation of, you know, the products. Now I do like to press in powder, like I like to bake my under eyes with a sponge. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Laura Mercier powder, and I'm just gonna go under my eyes and press this in to bake my eyes, my under eyes, not my actual eyes. All right, so now to set the face, I always set my face. You guys know I'm loyal to my Too Faced Mr. Right brush sitting right there, and it's it's rare that I ever stray from that brush for my powder, but I love the fluffiness of this brush. I just love powder brushes in general, and I hate powder brushes that are super dense. I like flowy ones, and this one, it's flowy. It's very, very flowy, and I actually do think I need to go ahead and toss my Mr. Right brush because I've had it for 4 years now, and it's just starting to like fall apart. So this might take place of it. We'll see. So I'm just gonna go into the cap. Whatever I had left, I just set my whole face. I've always done it, always will. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and swipe this on in circular motions. Goodness, it's so soft. It feels just like the Mr. Right brush, but a little bit better. And it makes it even better because it has bedazzles on it, you know? All right, so I'm now gonna take the F5 and I'm going to sweep the bake away from my under eyes. I'm gonna sweep and tap it in at the same time. I always do this with a brush, and a few of mine are over here in my eyeshadow brush thing, but one of them is for contour, so I just need one for my under eyes. This is like really, really smooth. I feel like this would also be really pretty for blush or like bronzer, or even like a nice like airy blown out highlighter. Y'all, I mean, my makeup's looking real good. Like my base is just like perfected. It's smooth. It has the coverage I like. I like light to medium coverage. It's not too full, but it also looks really, really good. All right, so I do want to finish my under eyes before we move on to the rest of the face. So I'm gonna go in with the E5, which I have not used before, but I think this is gonna be really nice to smoke out on the lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with that Aria shade, which is the shade that we used first in the crease. Just tap off the excess and just take this from outer corner to inner corner, and I'm just making sure it connects. Now this brush is really nice if you want it to be smoky and not too close to your lower lash line, which is typically how I like my lower lash line to be smoked out anyways. And if you want it to be a little bit more close to your lash line, you can always use that liner brush and get it a little bit closer, which is what we're gonna do next. So I'm taking the E6 and I'm gonna go into the shade Teak, which is what we use to darken up our outer corner. And I'm gonna take this from just the outer corner and just smoke it out right here. And I'm just gonna leave it there because this is a little bit more tapered, well actually a lot more tapered, a lot more dense, and it's really gonna just place the product, you know, you don't have to, it's not gonna be diffused, it's gonna be placed. So I'm just gonna start right here. Oh my gosh, I'm living hardcore right now. Alright, so I popped on Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on my lashes, and then on my lower lash line, I used the Wander Beauty Unleashed mascara, and we need some dimension. I feel really dull. I feel like I'm one shade, which I am. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the face, which is my favorite part of makeup. I love bronzer, blush, and highlight. I feel like it always brings the look together, and I'm pumped for it. So for bronzer, I'm gonna go in with my go-to. It's the Too Faced Sun Buddy bronzer. I love how radiant this bronzer is, yet not glittery and not too shimmery. It looks like you've been sun-kissed, literally sun-kissed. So I'm gonna go in with this brush, F3. Honestly, I just want to tell you guys, I also never looked at what each brush is for. I'm just kind of figuring it out on my own. So yeah. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be good for bronzer and like, you know, chiseling the cheeks. So we're just gonna use that, and I'm just gonna go in here for a good round and then tap off the excess as always. And we're just gonna bronze. We're just gonna warm up the face. I always feel like a totally different person after I bronze my face because it just brings me back to life. I really like the way this is applying bronzer. So it's not the typical brush I would use for bronzer. I'd use like a lot more of a diffused brush. I've never tried using a denser brush, so this might be the new move, you guys, like using a denser brush to get more of a little bit of a heavier application and not having to dip in bronzer, can't speak, you know, a ton of times. It's like a contour and bronzer brush in the same little aspect. So you can really go like this, or you can go full on, you know, full angle on top of it and really just bronze. All right, I think we all know what my favorite brush is now. This one, the F3. F3, yeah, I was correct. Oh my god, I'm catching on to the numbers. I'm so proud. So for blush, I'm gonna go into this Jouer Bouquet d'Amour palette. I'm gonna go into the F4, and I love angled brushes. I'm gonna show you the two that I use now. It's the same exact brush as each other, but this is a Morphe brush, this is another Morphe brush, and then here is the blinged brushes brush. So they're all angled. I love angled brushes for my blush, so I feel like this is just not gonna be anything new. It's gonna be just something a lot better because it's blinged. And I'm gonna dip into Marigold and Adore Me. Just 2 taps, that's all you need. This blush is like really pigmented, and we are just going to tap this on. Oh my gosh, I love how smooth this is, and it's not dense, so it's not, you know, pounding my face and it's not hurting. It's just like super smooth, and I can like also fluff it out in circular motions. No one told me they were this good. Like, I thought they were gonna be good just because I've always heard things about this, and Tati talks about these brushes. Y'all know how much I love Tati. So I didn't think they were gonna be like as good as I'm thinking they are gonna be. I might have to ditch all of my other brushes and just keep these. And then just to make sure it's all blended out, I'm just going to use the powder brush, which is the F1, and it's just so soft and so smooth. Now for highlight, I'm not really sure which one you're supposed to use. All I have left for you know, something on my face is the F5, and it might just be one of those highlight brushes where it's not too dense and it really diffuses the product, which I don't mind on natural makeup days, but on heavier makeup days I want something a little like a bit more tapered and tinier, and so I can really place it and just have it in one area. So I'm gonna use this as my highlighter brush, but I really like this for my under eyes, so I'm gonna have to clean it after because I think I'm gonna like this a lot more for my under eyes. So my favorite highlighter right now is the Desi & Katie Fuego highlighter from Dose Colors. So I'm just gonna go in with this on the brush and just tap off the excess, and I might be shocked. This might be actually really good for highlight. Like, I don't know, I haven't used it obviously. I mean, it doesn't look bad by any means. It's just a little bit like more fluffy, and it's not a very, very precise application. But if you're a natural makeup girl and you don't like intense pigment, I guess, you're gonna like this because it diffuses the product really well, and it just kind of like makes it look natural. But other than that, like, I really liked it for the under eyes, and I think it's gonna be really good if you bake under your contour or something to sweep it away. Other than that, like, that's what I like it for more, but I mean, it's still like, it doesn't look bad. Yeah, I'm gonna take the L1, which is what we use for all over the eyes, and I'm gonna tap into the same highlighter and pop this in my inner corner. Yeah, I like this one for inner corner a lot. All right, I'm gonna set my face and do my lip color, and I'll be right back for my final thoughts. Okay, so I'm done with my makeup. I set my face, I straightened my hair a little bit, and my gloss I added, and I only added the Dose of Colors over the top lip gloss. So getting into my review of these brushes, I really love them, and I'm not being paid to say that, you guys. I think you guys know how honest I am, and I feel like when people are really honest, people think that it's sponsored or they're being paid or they have to make a review or something. That's not the case with this whatsoever. I genuinely really like these brushes. 10 out of 10. I loved these so much. It was such a cool review, and I'm going to be using these a ton more. Y'all just wait. They're really good. I really love them. The quality is really nice. None of the gems have fallen off, and the actual bristles, you know, for something like this you would be like, okay, it's just for the point of the, you know, the crystals and the diamonds on it. No, like, they actually blended really well. Really nice bristles. I genuinely enjoyed them. All right, and now for you to win your own brush set. Thank you for sticking around to this video, and if you just skipped to this part, come on. So to win this brush set, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and click that bell. If you're on my YouTube channel right now, make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you do get notified for future uploads. And make sure you follow Blinged Brushes on Instagram. I will have an exact link down below to follow them on Instagram. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram. And the very last rule is to comment your Instagram username down below once you have done all of these steps. Hi guys, so I forgot to talk about like when this giveaway starts and all that stuff. So it starts right now, which is Sunday, April 14th, and it'll last 2 weeks. So it's open until the April 28th on a Sunday, and I will DM you that Monday, which is the 29th, and then I will be shipping your giveaway out. Now this is open to the US only because I just did a giveaway open to international, so this one's going to be for the US only, and you have to follow all the rules to enter. I will be checking, and make sure you stick around because yeah. So the rules and all of that stuff will also be down below if you forget. Hopefully I will see you guys in my very next video. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell. Obviously it's part of the rules, but if you're just watching just to watch, subscribe and click that bell. Join the Goria gang. We'd love to have you join. Like this video, and yeah, follow my social medias as well. They're always linked in the description box, and I will see you guys in my very next video. Bye guys.